Good evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cabby D Bar. We are here to get to some wrestling, all right? We are going to be talking about Collision, all right? January 24th, 2025, and Saturday night's main event, all right? January 24th, 2025. These events semi broadcasted at the same time, so I wouldn't call it like one-to-one counter programming. Like honestly, just on paper, I wouldn't think that you would counter program Billy Gunn, against AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm not sure if that was the plan here, but the timeline was talking about both these events until about 1 a.m. So it really did seem like no matter what you call it the other night, it really did stay on your membrane. All right, we are going to be breaking down each show as best as we can. Right, I'm not gonna lie, some of those things just, I'm be honest, I don't fucking care about. But we're gonna be getting to those as we go along. All right, as of recording this video, January 25th, it is Willow Nightingale's birthday. So happy birthday, GOAT! Congrats to you. Another year on this earth. Let's fucking go. World title next year. Inshallah. There's a massive snowstorm that is burying all of America right now. So that's something, isn't it, huh? Al Gore was so crazy for that whole global warming thing a while back, wasn't he? Lastly, I need to talk about this in terms of superstars. Obafemi is a superstar, and he has been off of TV for about a month now. If he is not winning, or at least a final three participant in that Royal Rumble, all of the momentum pissed away. Can it be gained back? Yes, but instead of striking while the iron's hot, instead of giving us an actual palpable feud, palpable feud with maybe, right, Oba going up against Jacob, they both feel like they're deserving a championship. Maybe Oba against Braun. Maybe Braun feels like he has just one more barrier to cross, and maybe that's Oba. Maybe he feels like he has one more barrier to cross, and that could be Oba, right? I mean, also, if you want to think about the mid-card, right, like Dominic Mysterio, if he's injured, long term, he needs to forfeit that fucking title. I'm sorry, if he's not injured, that's fine. But there are stars like fucking Carmelo Hayes. There are people in that locker room, there are people in that locker room like a Penta, who just genuinely they have worked themselves into an over enough space where they should be a fucking title holder, at least in the title contendership, right? And that's not an insane thing to say for people who have just performed well, and they have naturally gotten themselves in the placement with this crowd, with this production. It's not easy, but I mean, again, even superstars like Randy Orton is a superstar. Big shout out to C-Jax, but he'd make the argument that Roman is a lot bigger than Randy. Randy has had more matches, and he's been more visible for all of 2025 and starting 2026, with this being one of his starting matches. It's good. I honestly think that we missed the Randy title thing a while ago. And maybe because of injuries, maybe it's because he's not the same spring chicken that he used to be, but the idea that Randy Orton isn't getting utilized properly within this company is insane. I mean, every time he goes out there, the crowd loses their fucking minds. They lose their fucking minds. There are instances where they bring out somebody, like Braun Breaker, right? They'll bring out, new budding stars like a Carmelo Hayes, and Randy Orton dwarfs them. So why isn't he the front face for this fucking company? Why is it Cody Mr. Libations, right? And speaking of Mr. Libations, right, I guess this is one of the first matches we could talk about, aside from Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia constructing a stage in under 20 days, with the help of slave labor, or, Stephanie McMahon forcing herself onto my fucking screen, despite there being hundreds of other people that we could fucking have on this camera. We get Stephanie McMahon, somebody that nobody wants to see. If anybody tells you that they enjoyed Stephanie McMahon hosting this show, look them dead in the face and ask them, when's the last time they asked for Stephanie McMahon on WWE television? Yeah, exactly. Let's just get into some of these matches, right? I didn't hate the Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes match. With all due respect to Jacob, EBT to WWE is actually very funny. It's very clever. What I really like is the ruthlessness that Jacob presents anytime he goes into that ring. It's good for the character. Some of his attire, it'll switch up night to night. So I think the wrist tape, it's just good. They're just good small things he does to his presentation. I just enjoy, right? Just on a simple wrestling factor, I didn't love that this match was a grudge anywhere, falls count to. I don't know. I assumed that this would just be a normal match. That's what they booked it. That's what they marketed this as. They didn't mark it as like a grudge match or even like a death match or anything. And I understand maybe those are only things that you can allot to the quote unquote indie brand AEW, right? Maybe you can only give those titles to those kind of matches over there, but I don't know. I expected a little bit more. And maybe I'm pussy for expecting a Blade. Maybe that makes me a mark, but I don't know. I didn't really feel much going into this match. I didn't really feel much coming out of it, really, because there's no stakes, right? Like Drew McIntyre, instead of, you know, being a looming factor in this match, right, it may be playing a backseat role for Royal Rumble, like maybe playing a backseat role for Royal Rumble, and then maybe he gets his final, and then maybe he gets the match that we've all been expecting, right, at an Elimination Chamber, maybe even at the next Saturday night's main event, right? Something simple, right, where we can understand the push, the build, and the finale, right? Like almost like the plot devices, right? Everything flowing through naturally. I can't understand why Drew McIntyre would spoil this match, right? When now Jacob and Cody both have like fair rights to a rematch, kind of. No? Even though the whole like no, and that's the thing I can't understand. If there's a no rematch clause, then why is he breaking his back to get another fucking rematch out of Cody? And I'm really thinking this out in like real time. He's gloating that, you know, Cody can't get another rematch, but you're writing him notes and you're fucking with his matches? I mean, what fucking manager on Raw or SmackDown wouldn't now give Cody at least a fucking #1 contendership match? Contract be damned. I just don't understand. Oh god, the things that these fucking the things that these wrestlers do in kayfabe sometimes baffles the mind. Because realistically, if this is Obafemi versus Drew, right, and then we had maybe Sammy win the Royal Rumble or something with the Drew on commentary, or some shit, right? Then that's an actual build for the next pay-per-view, and that, you know, completely takes out the whole Cody and Jacob thing. This should have been like, and I think that's my issue with this. This wasn't clean. This wasn't a clean match. Like, nobody went over clean. It was fucked over. And I think that's an awful fucking way to book Jacob or Cody, right? Either you fucking pull the trigger, you have Cody go heel, or you make Jacob lose his fucking mind, all right? Maybe you even have one of the fucking Tamatunga Tonga twins come out there trying to cool him down, and he puts him through a fucking table. These characters need something to actually fucking matter, and there's no stakes for this match, so I just don't give a fuck. I don't care. And even when you think about it in this way, when you move one piece, this entire fucking thing crumbles, right? If you make Sammy versus Drew the premier match for tonight, and maybe the next person who wins the Royal Rumble, right, win or lose, they either go against Drew or Sammy, triple threat, whatever the fuck maybe you could even do an Elimination Chamber with a fucking 6-man, including Oba, including fucking maybe a Braun Breaker. Like, the pieces are here, folks, right? And it just confuses me because I can't imagine them sitting in the fucking writer's room and going, we're gonna give Sammy this fucking match at Raw. We're gonna give Sammy this match at Rumble, and then we're gonna have somebody else who isn't Sammy go into the fucking WrestleMania season either going up against Oba, Jacob, Cody, Drew, or Sammy, even though all of those people technically have right to a championship match. Technically, in terms of kayfabe, all of those people I named technically have a reason to go after the title. And I'm not gonna lie, if this doesn't boil over with the Elimination Chamber, wasted fucking potential. I spent a lot of time in the opening, didn't I? All right, let's kind of fly through the rest of this. So the tag titles are in fucking shambles. They're in ruins. I don't know what we're doing with this women's tag division. Just stop it now. Listen, Rhea Ripley is a great wrestler. Io Sky, Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, amazing wrestlers, all individually. This fucking Judgment Day shit is dead air. Nobody's interested. Y'all have Raquel Rodriguez looking like a fucking jabroni running away from Stephanie Vaquer, who isn't even a foot close to reaching the top of fucking Raquel's head. Why is little fucking itty bitty fucking Stephanie Vaquer chasing off Raquel Rodriguez? It's just a small shit that just doesn't make any fucking sense with this company. And obviously Rhea and Io retain, but I mean, if the fucking Judgment Day won, whoop-de fucking do. Who cares? Oh man. All right, let's move on to the better part of this night. All right, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
AJ Styles is so incredible and so good in the ring, he could have a 5-star match with the broomstick. That's how great he is.
I mean, and really, what else can you guys expect, right? This was literally the best match of the night. It was the best match of the night. Did it go for the length I wanted it to? No, I wanted to go for 4 days straight. But it was what it was, and we got what we got. Okay, this was a very fun match. I also loved the gear from Shinsuke. AJ wore red, to kind of like to commemorate Shinsuke, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot of good things. There's a lot of good things about this match, and just overall about the history between these two, everything going back to Wrestle Kingdom, like them briefly crossing paths a couple of times in the 2010s in WWE. It all culminated in something, right? Shinsuke's time in NXT. It all led to this one moment. Now, kind of to piggyback off this conversation of, Randy Orton being a superstar, something that we're going to be getting to very shortly. I really can't see people not taking AJ as, also a superstar contender, widely loved, across the bows of, IWC, like across all the thresholds of the IWC. He is amazing in that ring. And it's possible that his last match realistically might be next week, right? Like that is a possibility. So I do not know what we're going to be getting from AJ, but all I do know is that in the next couple of weeks, we are going to be coming to terms with either, AJ Styles retirement or, AJ Styles as, a guy who can beat a guy who beat John Cena, which, not gonna lie, does fit the lore historically, but I don't know. I think Gunther has to win. He has to win. So I mean that AJ is not re up on his contract? Is AJ going to the dub? Like, these are things I feel like we should be asking ourselves, right? Completely reasonable questions. This is a fantastic match, though. I mean, even from the false finishes to AJ hitting Shinsuke's move, Shinsuke kind of just find a way to fight out of a fucking phenomenal elbow in the Styles Clash. It was fucking great shit. Great shit. And that it definitely overshadowed the main event. No questions asked. There are people leaving. Quite literally after this match, the crowd started emptying out. Because what the fuck are we sitting here for Damian Priest and Trick Williams for when we just seen Shinsuke and fucking AJ? You know what I mean? So they definitely kind of cut their nose to spite their face here. But it was a great fucking match. And honestly, I'm waiting for them to upload it in full so I can bootleg it, because it was definitely worth it. It was definitely worth the time. And not gonna lie, they had a couple of callbacks to the Wrestle Kingdom match. So I mean, in my free time, I might boot that up as well. This was just a solid match all around. And I really hope we get more from Shinsuke. Shinsuke, AJ, Randy, and my fucking company, those guys are rotating championships every other couple of months. But hey, that's me, right? There's really nothing else I could say about this match except for the amazing atmosphere created by the crowd. The stiff shots were very smooth. It seemed like everyone walked away with this match with no missing teeth, despite all the strong style wrestling. So it was good. My only critique is triple fraud, triple bald man getting in the middle of these two goats and posing for a picture. I really hope that AJ just doesn't re-up and he posts like Alan fucking Jones is all elite like the second his contract expires. This fucking bald fucking Trump dick-eating bitch sitting here next to one of the best wrestlers of all time, and probably arguably the second best, or at least 10th best wrestler of all time in Shinsuke Nakamura, right? So yeah, that was my take on Saturday night's main event. I probably should get to that Fatal 4-Way, right? The Fatal 4-Way was dog shit. It was bad. I'm gonna be honest, the idea that Randy and Drew aren't having a match to kind of at least brush off the idea of Randy getting a title contendership, because and here's the thing, right? When you have somebody like Randy go out there every pay-per-view, every Saturday night's main event, and he is as over as you can fucking be, again, more over than somebody like a Cody at times. It's not fair that somebody like that, with the longevity that he has put into this game, he can't just get a title run. Like, why can't we have him running around the fucking circuit on Jimmy Kimmel or some shit? Like, I feel like Randy has worked himself into that place. It's maybe possible that he doesn't want to carry that load, but pause, that sounds crazy. But listen, I can't sit here and ignore Randy's star power. Randy is a fucking star. I don't know why he's not getting booked like a star, but I mean, I guess that's neither here here nor there. It's a really silly fucking match. Also, this match is just silly. It's silly. Like, just think about this for a second, right? The idea that division is only so focused on one single championship, does that not seem like a fucking like fool's gold errand? Like, does that not seem like fool's gold to anybody else? Like, there's 4 guys gunning for one championship. Not the secondary title, because that's on Dom, so we quite literally in kayfabe can't run that story. There's no one on SmackDown, so there isn't, no names going up against the fucking Eli Dragunov or Carmelo Hayes. It's not happening. Now, would that maybe be, no names overload? Possibly, but it would definitely take away from the stench of some of these fucking matches. I mean, like, just really think about this for a second. There is only so many fucking people in this match who we know should be going to the big stage, and quite literally the only one here that really sits atop of the fucking pile is Randy. And it's only Randy because of what he gives to this fucking company. Every time he goes out there, massive pops. You put him up, like, it's quite literally like the Punk syndrome, right? Where even though he is as old as fucking dirt, and yes, we should be pushing new acts in that locker room, they aren't giving Montez Ford anything. Right? Like Carmelo Hayes is stuck in a storyless US Open challenge. That, not gonna lie, it is the visibility that, the fan base has been requesting. But now what is he getting after that? Right? People were really big on Uncle Howdy when he first started moving weight. What is he doing after that? There's nothing for these characters moving forward. Like Trick Williams, he doesn't get jobbed out, but he essentially, he gets thrown out of the ring the same way he tried to throw somebody out of a ring to win a match. So we kind of got out-healed in that aspect. And also Damian Priest is being like wrapped up in it. Why is Damian Priest here, to eat a pin? When you quite literally could just do like Sammy versus Trick, an NXT then versus NXT now match. Didn't I pitch that? You guys remember when I jokingly pitched that for one of these NXT shows? I believe that was when Thea Hale won the championship. Go back and watch that episode when Thea Hale won the championship and the fucking WWF were running around like chickens with their fucking heads cut off. It was just a silly little jokey joke. Oh yeah, the 30-minute Iron match, the NXT of then versus the NXT of now. Silly little stupid shit. It would have been a great match. Sammy versus Trick would have been a perfectly fine fucking match. Whatever. I can't seem to care about this shit. As I said, one of the bigger matches with Cody Rhodes just got fucked over in the finish. This women's tag match is pointless. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura obviously stole the night, and any kind of fire that Sami Zayn was supposed to be having for Royal Rumble was supposed to be settled at Royal Rumble. That's a feud that you finalize at Royal Rumble. And I'm not gonna lie, the idea that he has to go through Trick Williams and the Way-Bob Prince to do it, it's just silly. It's silly. I'm not saying make this a contract sign. I'm not saying make this a contract signing. I'm saying you give anybody else this fucking airtime. You give anybody else this airtime, and you set this up at a go-home show for Raw SmackDown. This was pointless. This was quite literally fucking pointless. And if you got any entertainment from this Fatal 4-Way, congratulations. If you got any entertainment from this Saturday night's main event, that's awesome. That's great. I didn't, though. And I'm not gonna lie, moving on to Collision, it wasn't a better all-around watch because Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, what do I gotta do? Be a fucking broken record to reiterate that. But it definitely left me with a more satisfactory taste in my mouth. Like, even with small things like we'll be getting into, like some of the promos, like they were just good, they were clean, and now I'm excited for the next lineup for any of these AEW stars. Speaking of the devil, we'll be getting right into it. AEW's Collision, alright, for January 24th, 2025. Alright, these people are still at the residential area in Texas, and this crowd did their thing. I'm not gonna lie, the residency in Texas is shaping up a lot better than their Hammerstein residency a couple of months back. So, shout out to Tony for that. And as I said, this was Willow Nightingale's birthday eve. She had a cute little match, so this is good. This is a cool little Collision. All in all, definitely nothing to write home about, but it definitely left me more entertained, shockingly, than Saturday night's main event. And it's obvious why. There's just better matches. It's kind of obvious. All right, so first order of business for the Collision. Immediate -2 stars for the cameraman. It is the same fucking cameraman. I'm not going crazy. I know I'm not going crazy. They did a taping, and it's quite literally like they said, all right, make sure Joey's in the shot for the fucking Hangman match. All right, no, make sure he's in the shot for the next Hangman match on the next show. It is driving me fucking bananas, quite literally bananas. I don't know if this was the production crew also, but sometimes the fucking audio went from like underwater to like 16 fucking karat gold, 16 karat, like it went from 16 karat gold to the fucking Marina Trench all the way back up to like 8D audio. It was very confusing. Very, very confusing. I will not let that take away from the wrestling though. Okay, we got the wrestler and Katsuyori Shibata versus the Hangman, all right, Mr. Adam Page himself, all right, the Blue Sky Cowboy. It was very cool. We got somebody on the comms tonight that I think all of you will recognize from Collision. He's pretty hard to miss, if you can say that.
Tell me, baby, do you want
Listen, I was very pleased with this Collision. I also love the comms. You know, like he definitely adds a lot to the show, a lot of color. If he could stay as a long-term member of the commentary team, if he could stay as a long-term member of the commentary team, if he could stay as a long-term member of the commentary team, I would be very, very pleased with that. But I mean, this was good. This was a solid match from both of these guys. Obviously, Hangman picks up the dub, but it was a very good bout of technical wrestling, some good freestyle in there. You know, the Joe Ops hook story, it fits in here perfectly. I mean, honestly, everything falls together when it comes to this match specifically. Katsuyori Shibata, very sharp in that ring when he wants to be again. Obviously, due to after his surgery, he's never been the same wrestler, but after his surgery, he's never been the same wrestler, but that is not holding him back whatsoever. This was a great showing from the former men's world champion, the Hangman Adam Page, and honestly, it was a very electric atmosphere. You know, as I stated with the Saturday night's main event for AJ and Nakamura, simply good energy and a good feeling when this match is going on. The crowd was behind Hangman the entire time. There wasn't a lot of false finishes, so that was also something to marvel at. You know, it's kind of AEW's calling card for most, like it's kind of AEW's calling card for the most part. So it was a very cool match, and I also appreciated Shibata just getting playing time, because fuck hell does he deserve it. I mean, Katsuyori is very good. I mean, honestly, I think back to that match he had with Yuta Wheeler at least 2 years ago, right? It's just good shit from him, and very pleasant match all around. I like the idea that Isla Dawn is getting minutes. Isla Dawn had a very quick match with Chris Statlander, the Stat Daddy. This led to Thekla having a fucking great promo. I mean, honestly, her promo work and the promo work that we also get from Jack Perry, it's fucking insane. Like, and I'm not saying that to be like facetious. If you look at those promos just like on a simple like acting storytelling, it's good. Thekla is a fucking snarky, disrespectful asshole, right? And Jack Perry is somebody who is like on the fucking quest for revenge, for somebody who essentially he calls a brother, right? Somebody who fought from the brink of death, as he said. And just great promo, great delivery from both of these two. Both of these people, you know, and Thekla and Jack Perry have titles matches, so very fitting that they have promos lined up one against another. Jack Perry obviously with Ricochet. As we all know, I really wanted this to be Anthony Bowens, but is what it is. And Thekla versus Chris Statlander. I do not see Chris walking out of you know, the next title match. I do not see Thekla walking out of the next title. I do not see Chris Statlander walking out of her next title defense as a champion. I'll be honest. But honestly, maybe we even get like maybe from that we'll get a best of 5 from her and Thekla. So honestly, I'm not going to piss on that fire too much. I am very pleased by both of these promos again from Jack Perry and Thekla. And it is a smooth lead in to our Billy Gunn and Austin Gunn versus the Proto Sheeta match. Now, the Porno Star, him having minutes with Billy Gunn is surprising. It's surprising. Billy Gunn is 62 years old and he can wrestle. And I think about Triple H and how he can't wrestle. I think that's pretty fucking funny. I think that's pretty funny, huh? You know, we're gonna put a star back on the board. You know, we're gonna put a star back on the board for this collision, just for that. I really like this match. This match was pretty fun. Billy Gunn got renamed Papa Gunn halfway through this fucking match by Paul White, you know, the formerly known as The Big Show, and it fit, it sticks, and if Papa Gunn gets more minutes, the crowd is gonna love it. Billy Gunn, I think, might literally save this collision, because I'm not gonna lie, after that Hangman Shibata in this match, the crowd wasn't there. I shit you not, the crowd is practically not even there for the rest of this fucking night. I mean, Willow came out there and Willow did her fucking thing. Willow Nightingale, whoopty whoopty, right? We love Willow. But Willow didn't have a match against like I don't want to be rude to Julia Hart here, a star. You know what I mean? Like obviously, Proto Shida picks up this win, and it is a fucking great showing from both Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. A great teamwork, great chemistry displayed by them. The style of wrestling also from a Konosuke Takeshita, it just fits Billy Gunn's fucking physique, surprisingly. Billy Gunn, fucking 62, built like a tank. Big Show made a great comment, all he does is eat and work out, so, he better look like a fucking brick house, right? But this was cool. The crowd was chanting 62, which I thought was very, very funny. Whoever did that, I heard you. You are recognized. And I also didn't know that Excalibur never wrestled. Yeah, we got Don Callis berating Excalibur and Tony Schiavone on the comms, while, Big Show just tried to not corpse. Big Show did a pretty good job. Pretty good job on the comms tonight. But after this match finished, we get a death stare into the camera from the very handsome Konosuke Takeshita. Rainmaker, right? Kazuchika Okada, he comes out and it is he rage baits him. Listen, I'm gonna be honest, I assumed that we would be getting this match for the Intercontinental Championship a lot sooner than we surprisingly are going to be getting it. I do not even think it will be at the next Revolution pay-per-view. It might be later than that. So I mean, I don't know what's going to be going on with these two. It definitely feels a little dragged out, but even in the story of Don Callis not really in kayfabe taking this seriously, right? It should lead to some kind of bubble over eventually, but we'll get there. We'll get there when we get there, I guess. Next little match on the card. Again, there's not really a lot. Actually, I want to recant the statement I said. I said that the crowd was pretty quiet for the rest of this night. Jordan Oliver and Alec Price, I got you guys' name this week. Check me out. They got fucking destroyed by Doyle and Davis. They got like really badly destroyed. There were like some spots I like physically like my jaw dropped. I was like, fuck, dude. No, but obviously Jake something, Mark Davis, great in-ring competitors. They have like a really funny segment with the Don Callis and Ricochet on the golf cart, and I guess like they jump and rob like some AEW security on the golf field with them. It was pretty funny. It was pretty cool. Obviously an extra, maybe a future WWE champion, but it was very cool, very funny. Davis and Doyle, they're just beast. They're beast as fuck, and I don't even mean that in like not metaphorically or like in a in like I don't mean that as like a simile. Like no, they're beast. Like they're fucking insane. They're built like fucking like wilderness. Like they're built like yetis. It's quite literally crazy. I like this match a lot because Alec Price and Oliver Jordan, they really keep up the fucking pace, and even Big Show acknowledges it. You keep throwing your fucking weight at these guys somehow, some way, due to the speed, due to the momentum, and it will find a way to slow them down. But like it takes 20 seconds and these niggas get put away. It's crazy. Davis and Doyle, great showing from these two. FTR segment after. I'm not sure if FTR are heels or faces. That's something I'm still trying to really piece together. But they are being booked and kind of marketed kind of as faces. The crowd, at least in Texas, is digesting them as faces against Davis and Doyle. Obviously, those fucking niggas is crazy. All right, they literally did like a tag team headbutt. It was holy hell. It was crazy. All right, no, I can't keep thinking about that match. I'm gonna get a fucking concussion. But great match from these two. I'm looking forward to this FTR match again. FTR, one of the better tag teams in the world, my personal opinion. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a very, very, very good match from these two. As I said, the Willow versus Julia match, obvious ending, but I really do have a lot of faith, in mid to low tier women's wrestlers. Obviously they don't get the shine that they deserve. But I mean, I think on the right day, right night, right production, you can get a fucking 5-star out of anybody, right? And Julia Hart, she goes out there, she at least puts up a cool 3.5. It's not a bad match at all. A little predictable, but Willow Nightingale, she goes in there, she does her thing. Julia Hart, she also wrestles with this kind of determination that I think is really good for somebody like a Willow Nightingale. Obviously, she doesn't really compare with size, but she tries to be as ruthless and as toxic, if you would. And it doesn't work, obviously, but it was a really cool showing from Julia, and hopefully we get more showings from a Sky Blue, right, from a Heian, from a Maya World, right, because I really do think that the mid-card women's wrestlers on either production, right, even with shows like WoW, even with situations like a TNA, right, they can simply put on good shit because the people who are waiting to get that shine haven't gotten the shine yet, right? And it's unfortunate that mostly correlates with, you know, mid-card women's wrestlers. You know, it's unfortunate, they deserve it, but, you know, 9 times out of 10 they don't get it. All right. Last couple of matches of the night that we are going to be talking about is Andrade versus Magnus, and how can I forget? All right, Roderick Strong versus Claudio Castagnoli for the CMML World Championship. Yes, you know, talking about Andrade and Magnus. This is a very cool match. Magnus, you know, is a great representation from CMML. You know, personally, I would have loved to see Andrade go up against one of the A-listers like Hangman, but, you know, thinking about it, obviously going from, you know, a mid-carder, like a hypothetical Angelico, all the way to Hangman, former world champion, is just a bit of a jump, right? But, you know, him kind of working his way up. You know, I guess we're kind of giving a reason for him to go up against Swerve Strickland next Dynamite, so that should be very interesting. Halfway through this match, Andrade just strips. You know, nobody threw any ones at him, but I don't think he would have appreciated that. Nonetheless, it was a fun match, though. Very cool match. You know, again, as I said, great showing for Andrade. I am looking forward to, you know, him. He said that he will be announcing himself into the world title picture very soon. So, you know, we're gonna see how that goes. You know, I don't know if that's a shoot or a work, but I was very entertained from this match. And I'm not gonna lie, leading into our main event, this is a cool little in between match, right? Because obviously Magnus, great performer, great in that ring, but, you know, on the levels of like a Kazuchika Okada, right? So it's just levels to it. But again, Magnus, very good wrestler. Andrade does pick up the 1-2-3 after about one finisher, failed finisher attempt, and Magnus kind of slipped out of it. But again, very cool match. Next match on the docket that we will be talking about, all right, the main event, all right, had a very good CMML heavy presentation, all right. It was the match between Claudio Castagnoli, all right, and Roderick Strong. This is for the CMML World Champion. Very good main event match. This definitely cleans up some of my earlier gripes with, like, you know, Andrade versus, you know, quote unquote who, right? Or even like Alec Price and Oliver Jordan minutes. Great match. Could we get something else? No. You know, that's all right. Great match, but is it possible that maybe we could get like a contract signing, right? Maybe we can get these two teams in the ring together, being that FTR is just very sharp on that mic. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. Also, is that Stokely injury like a work? Is it a work? Because I just feel like visually him being like lower than them, it's just kind of annoying. Now, no, they're sitting for this promo. So, like, you know what? I'm getting into the weeds, all right? This Roderick Strong and Claudio Castagnoli match. Very fun match. Claudio Castagnoli, his presentation is like a fucking beast, all right? He quite literally looks like a fucking, like an enforcer of violence, right? And that's what he is. He's a facilitator of violence, right? He's a great in-ring performer. I mean, he bounces off perfectly with a Roderick Strong's really like a, you know, squeaky clean technical wrestling. It's fun. It's really good shit. You know, for a moment you do believe that Roderick is going to be going over again for the CMML World Championship, but wholeheartedly I maybe think that Hechicero might be a better fit for that role, you know, being that they are having this, you know, very drawn out feud with the Don Callis family. So we will be seeing where this goes in the future, but I did not hate this collision. All in all, I had a very fun time watching it. I think matching up against Saturday night's main event, I definitely think Saturday night's main event had a better slot. Again, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, what the fuck are we talking about, right? But I mean, performances like from Konosuke Takeshita, right? Even the small things that we got with Shibata and Hangman, very entertaining and a very cool very cool little dynamite that we got. Truthfully though, nothing to write home about, but I mean, Willow Nightingale, Hangman, Shibata, Konosuke Takeshita, that is a star-packed collision right there, right? So, you know, it's positives all around. I really do wish that Saturday night's main event maybe had a little bit more kick, but I mean, it was what it was. You know, I like a good clean finish to a match. What can I say? But you know, that was me. that was my review for Collision, January 24th, 2025, Saturday night's main event. All right, for January 24th, 2025. I hope all of you have a great one whenever you catch this, however you catch this, and I do have more coming for the week. So as I always say, you all stay safe, stay tuned, stay beautiful. All right, peace.